The number of job openings in March are rising to nearly 7.5 million. I mean, this is coming off of February's 9-month low. It's near the all-time high, despite what I feel is the hottest job market. I think most people would agree just about ever. We are seeing a mass exodus of people leave the labor force, and the question is why. Joining me now to discuss Manpower Group North American President Becky Frankiewicz. Becky, thanks for joining us.
Happy to be here.
All right, so we had these last 2 months, the jobs report has been gangbusters. We see 7.5 million job openings, and yet every single month this year, people have left the labor force, and the numbers, it's at 1.2 million people. How do we get that? How do 1.2 million people leave a labor force where there's 7.5 million job openings?
Yes, I'd say one thing. April is consistent this year with last year. So we always have a little bit of a blip in April. But I think it comes down to confidence. People are confident, Charles, they can leave the workforce and they can return because there'll still be jobs here. We are seeing an increase in people leaving to go back to school, which we think is the intersection of reskilling and people needing to learn new trade to come back and be meaningful in employment. Those
sound like good things, okay? Although I know that the so-called quits number has not moved commensurate with the number of job openings, right? So even though more people are quitting, it's not the kind of quits numbers you would expect in a booming economy. So it gets back to the question, what's missing, though? What is missing for those people who aren't in this labor force, who aren't hitting the bricks, who still don't believe they can either get a job or don't want a job in this environment? Yeah, and I can't imagine someone not wanting a job in this environment because there is opportunity across the entire economy for work. Part of it is I think we have to encourage Americans that there is opportunity for you. Translate your skills into meaningful employment opportunities today, into your resume, and get out there and find something to do. So you talk about people quitting and going back to school. What about folks who don't necessarily have the wherewithal? Now, I thought the CEO of IBM came up with a great term, new-collar workers. Not blue-collar or white-collar. You don't need a college degree, but you need more than a high school degree. How do you get the training for that? What if someone can't afford that training? Are businesses stepping up to the plate? How do you fill that void so that you do have the confidence that you'll get hired? Absolutely. We're seeing businesses step in with certifications. Not every job needs a college degree, and definitely not every job in America needs a high school degree. Some need extra training. Businesses are stepping into the gap. We at Manpower Group are doing some of that upskilling training. And we all have to work to make sure we have employers that are ready to work. There seems to be a dark side to this I got to ask you about, though, too. The disenchantment. I just talked about what's happened in our country in the heartland. From unfair trading practices, millions of Americans lost their jobs. What's replaced pride is an opioid epidemic. That has to be playing a role, too, because it seems really with young men that this is an acute problem. Yeah, it's actually a tragedy in our country because we have unprecedented economic opportunity for jobs, and yet we do see pockets of people where, whether it's because of they didn't see their parents working, they didn't have a role model working, or in some cases drugs, just not participating in the workforce. And I know the government is trying to help with that, but I honestly think it comes back to the role that parents play and the role that we play as employers to make work attractive.